Hello my friends and welcome back to my latest video, Lion vs Grizzly pound for pound. Now this is a different fight and I will explain why. Normally Grizzly, with him being hundreds of pounds heavier, he's going to have some advantages. He's going to have the strength advantage, and that is also going to give him a psychological edge in the battle because he may be able to consistently disrupt the lion and pin the lion down, pin him down consistently and disrupt the lion's attacks. Now, under these circumstances, the lion may not be able to do as much damage. And the fact also that the bear is larger in size, and obviously a larger bear has much more durability than a bear that is smaller. Obviously, it can take more punishment than a smaller bear if it's hundreds of pounds heavier in weight. Now, on a pound for pound level, I would say that lion has a lot of advantages. He has protection in the neck. He can't have it broken. He can't have his blood circuitry severed. He can't be suffocated by the bear. So he's got good protection in the neck. And he also is stronger pound for pound. So on a pound for pound level, I don't think that a bear's stronger, or I don't believe that a bear's stronger, because lions have a higher percentage of muscle mass than bears. Bears have more fat on them, and they're only heavier because they have more fat on them. But on a pound for pound level, I think lion is not only stronger, I think he's more powerful. And I don't really believe that the bear has the advantage to pin the lion down as much. I don't think he's going to be strong enough to in a lot of cases. And I don't really think that he's going to be able to disrupt the lion's attacks as much. I think the lion is going to be able to do more damage against a smaller bear. Because even if the bear somehow manages to pin the lion down, which I think is possible, but there's bound to be resistance from the lion, and I think the lion is going to be able to resist the bear, in most cases. The bear is not going to be strong enough to even hold the lion down in the fight. Normally, a bigger bear would be able to hold him down for a longer periods of time so that he can do more damage and prolong a vulnerability interval. So, but a smaller bear does not have this kind of advantage. So not only is he less durable, he doesn't have as much of a psychological advantage in the battle either, because he's smaller, because he's around the same size as the lion. Normally, Grizzly has a bigger psychological advantage when he's larger, because he can impose more size, he can impose his strength, he can consistently pin the lion down and gain the psychological edge, and then assert himself and impose his size to get a psychological advantage in the battle. But under these circumstances, the bear is not going to have those advantages. He's not going to have the psychological advantage. He's not going to have the strength advantage. The lion has most of the advantages in this fight. The only advantage the bear has in this fight, I would say, is his stamina. And the bear's durability will obviously be more limited because it's just a smaller bear. It won't be able to take as much punishment as a bear that's 400 pounds heavier would be able to take. And not only that, but Grizzly being a solitary predator too puts him at a disadvantage in this battle, because I have observed video footage of bears fighting, but they don't fight for a very long duration. They fight and then they disengage the fight, whether it is for a few minutes, whether it is for 15 minutes or 10 minutes, they eventually disengage the fight out of a solitary instinct to avoid injury. And this is a disadvantage for Grizzly if he's up against lion. So even A big bear, even a massive, even a bear that's about 800 or 900 pounds would still have this solitary disadvantage against lion in a fight, even if he was stronger and had more psychological advantage because of his size and the way he can impose his strength and assert himself psychologically. Yeah, he has all those advantages, but he is disadvantageous as far as an adverse battle goes because he's not always going to fight to the death, and he's not generally going to fight to the death because of his solitary instincts to avoid injury. So Grizzly, even if he's at the same weight or even if he's bigger, this is definitely a disadvantage for him in a fight with the lion. I'd say all that the lion needs to win the fight is stamina and the mentality to fight. If the lion has both of them, the lion has a chance of winning. He has a chance of winning against a bear, whether he's bigger or pound for pound. I mean, pound for pound, I think the African lion would take Grizzly pound for pound. I'm very confident that aggressive specimens of African lion could take Grizzly pound for pound. And really, but obviously, I would save the bigger bears for Barbary lion. I would definitely put Barbary lion up against, the bigger bears. If lion had to hold his own, I would definitely leave that to Barbary lion to take on those bears. Because there definitely would have been captive specimens of Barbary lion in solitary confinement that would have been dangerous enough to kill bears, that would have been durable enough, aggressive enough, and would have had decent enough stamina to kill a bear. So, not saying that every specimen of lion could kill a bear, because that's not where I'm going with this at all. I'm saying there would have been a selectable number of specimens within the populace that were aggressive enough and dangerous enough and tough enough to kill a bear, because they would have had the predatory knowledge of sabotage in the neck. They would have severed the bear's blood circuitry in the neck. They would have caused internal bleeding. A lot of people don't realize that the lion poses this threat, especially if it's on a level of extreme ferocity, which Barbary lion is primarily known for. So the threat is unquestionably there. And Grizzly's neck is not invulnerable to sabotage. The lion's claws are dangerous enough to penetrate and tear away the bear's flesh in the neck. Even though the bear has good durability in the neck, it's still the weak point. And the lion only has to be a big enough size. It only has to be about 550 pounds to 660 pounds in weight to really pose a threat to a bear of large size, like even an 800 or 900 pound bear. But I don't believe that Grizzly has the same advantage on a pound for pound level against a lion than if he were bigger. He just doesn't have the same advantage. He doesn't have the psychological advantage because he's not as big, he's not as strong, he's not as tough. Because obviously, as I said earlier, a bigger bear has more durability. They can take more. So a bigger bear has much more durability than a smaller bear, and a smaller bear just can't take as much punishment. I just don't think the bear is going to be strong enough physically to consistently disrupt the lion's attacks. And because of that, the lion is going to do a lot of damage to the bear. He's going to badly hurt the bear, and the bear is going to have no option but to flee the fight. And the lion will win. But like I say, I'm not being biased towards the bear. I have to admit the possibilities for the bear on the bear's side. I believe that a bear could win more fights against the lion in head-to-head fights, especially if the bear's bigger. I think that it's possible for a bear to win more fights. I think under the right circumstances as well, the lion could win more fights. That is if we were to select specimens from the population of lions that were capable of defeating bears in a fight, that we were if we were selecting specimens of lion within the populace that were capable of beating bears, which there definitely would have been lions like that would have lived, that would have definitely been capable of beating bears either in the wild or even in solitary confinement to the death. But that doesn't mean that every specimen of male lion can defeat a bear, because I honestly don't believe that, and probably most other lion fans know that too. So I'm not saying that every specimen of male lion can defeat a grizzly bear, because I don't believe that. Grizzlies are exceptionally durable and tough and strong, and they are not easy to fight because they stand on two legs and fight. And that's very disadvantageous for a lion in terms of posture, because a lion is designed to fight on three legs. A lion can fight on two legs, but only for a brief interval. And I did say it's very disadvantageous for him to fight with a bear on two legs, because the bear just has the advantage there. He has the advantage to, overwhelm the lion and pin him down and bite at him, So, the lion needs to fight on his three legs and attack the bear when it's on its four legs, Then the lion can do a lot of damage, because the bear is anatomically designed in a way that he can only pin the lion down if he's on his two legs, because only then can he grab some hold of something and utilize its strength in the way that it wants to. So, but I definitely think on a pound for pound level, the bear doesn't really have much of an advantage. I'd say the only advantage that he really has on a pound for pound level against the lion is his stamina, And I would definitely say if the lion's got enough stamina to fight the bear, he's definitely going to, do a lot of damage. I mean, he doesn't even need to be fighting the bear for that long, to really inflict the necessary damage that he needs for the bear's solitary instincts to kick in. So, in a matter of speaking, he doesn't even need to have that much stamina. I'd say you probably need to have more stamina against a bigger bear, I think stamina is more of a factor for him against the bigger bear. And I would also say it's more psychologically challenging for lion when he's fighting a bigger bear too. It isn't so much that challenging when he's fighting a smaller bear. There's not really as much of a psychological advantage because there's no real size difference there. But if he's fighting a bigger bear, then it's obviously more psychologically challenging. And it's more of a psychological battle, if anything, and it's more of a challenge mentally for lion to maintain his mentality in the battle when he's overwhelmed by the bear and keep fighting and trying to keep, attacking the bear and trying to potentially injure it. Lion's goal is to injure a large bear, because at least if he injures it or he hurts it or he wounds it, there's a chance that it'll back down to him, because it's a solitary predator and it has to make decisions to avoid injury for the purpose of hunting for food and surviving and ensuring that it doesn't starve to death. So this is just a survival instinct of the animal naturally, but it's definitely an advantage for lion if he can wound the bear or at least injure it in some way, because the bear is definitely going to consider fleeing and backing down in the fight if he manages to do this. But I think against a bigger bear, it's more of a factor of mentality and stamina for lion. Against a smaller bear, I don't really think it's going to be a factor of either. I don't really think he's going to exert too much stamina against a smaller bear. And I don't really think it's going to be much of a psychological challenge for him either. So I think stamina and mentality is more relevant challenge if he's fighting a bigger bear. But if he's fighting pound for pound against a grizzly, prime male African lion, that has decent stamina, I'd say it's lions for the taking. So he'll win in most cases, so that's just my verdict. And I hope to see you guys on the next video. And I haven't really been able to access my other channel because I changed my number. And I had to format my phone because something bugged my phone and nearly destroyed my phone. So I had to format it. So I'm having trouble verifying my Google account that's connected to my old YouTube account, my other Big Cat channel that I've got. So I'm just using this channel until, I can verify that, till I can find the SIM card with the number on that's connected to that Google account, so I can verify that and so I can access my other channel. But this is my alternative channel. But yeah, I'm debunking this Google answer on the basis that it's saying that lion can only really win through ambush, through preemptive ambush, through initiating combat preemptively and ambushing the bear. Lion pound for pound could beat a bear directly in a fight. a specimen of lion that is aggressive enough and durable enough and has the stamina to fight the bear and the mentality could probably beat a bear directly too. Not saying it would beat it easily. It would have a difficult fight against it. I'd say the lion will probably win at high or extreme difficulty, or he will lose. So, against a bigger bear. So, but the lion could definitely still win, especially if it's an aggressive enough specimen and if it's capable of putting up a good enough fight. So I'm debunking this answer on that basis. Obviously, under circumstances of nourishment where the bear is eating, the bear would have more of a mentality to fight. And obviously, it would be more difficult for the lion to win that fight if the bear's bigger. But it doesn't mean it's impossible. And it doesn't mean that just because the bear is stronger that the lion can't win. The lion is quick. The lion has power. It has locomotion to move. It can attack at certain time periods when the bear comes down on its 4 feet. The lion has advantages in this battle, and if he makes the right use of them, he could win this fight against the bear. He just needs to have the mentality, the stamina, and the durability, to win. And I think there are definitely specimens of male lion that have lived amongst the totality of the lion populace that would definitely beat a bear in the wild. And not only that, there's definitely Barbary lions that could probably beat them in the wild and probably kill them in a fight to the death. I'm saying there are Barbary lions that would have lived, that would have been capable of this. And there's a great level of ignorance that bear fans have of it. There is also a certain level of ignorance that some lion fans have of it too, because they haven't seen enough evidence. They need to kind of see it for themselves, So, but you'll know what I'm talking about when I'm referring to those specimens of lion. Some of these specimens of lion were really, really, really dangerous. And I mean, to the point where they were even a threat to large bears, like a fatal threat. But I think the most important thing for lion in this fight is to incorporate the right kind of strategy, to know when to attack and when not to attack, because obviously if he's fighting with the bear when the bear's on his 2 feet, obviously the bear's more advantaged in that situation. So the lion needs to be much more strategic in this fight. And I'd say it's just posture-wise, it's just a bit more of an awkward fight for him to win. So I'd say the lion has to be more strategic in regard to knowing when to attack and knowing when not to, basically. If he does this in the fight against the bear, he will definitely have a good chance of winning. But in the interest of fairness, I am not going to deny the possibilities on the bear's side. The bear can win. And I honestly believe the bear could also win in head-to-head fights. But I also believe the lion could win in head-to-head fights too under specific circumstances and conditions. Like if we were to select specimens of the lion populace, stronger specimens of the lion populace that were capable of defeating bears, then obviously it would be possible for lion to win in head-to-head fights if we were to select these specimens and we were to put them up against a bear. But that's it for today, guys. Please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. I could use more subscribers on this channel. I will be making more videos on this channel until I can access my previous channel. I need to find a SIM card that's connected to the Google account so I can verify it. But until then, there's nothing else I can do. So I hope to see you guys in the next video, and please subscribe, please like, please share on Discord if you can. And I hope to see you guys on the next one. Peace out.